Well, hello folks, welcome back to What's Cooking in Bert's Kitchen. Tonight happens to be my anniversary, and my wife, well, you've watched my videos, you know what I can be like. She puts up with me, so she deserves a nice dinner. Tonight we're going to make some baked catfish, some vegetables on the side, and a nice little dessert, some Nutella Eclairs. Now, I've already taken some fish out of the freezer, got it thawing in the sink. That can just wait a while. We're going to get to the dessert because you got to make the dough, bake it off, let it cool, and then we'll add all the good fillings to it. Now we're going to preheat our oven to 450 degrees. Take a good saucepan, and into that I want you to add 6 tablespoons of water. This is baking. The ingredients have to be measured exactly right. So I've got 6 tablespoons of water and 3 tablespoons of butter here. Pop them in there. Get it on high. Bring it to a good rolling boil. In the meantime, in this bowl, we're going to sift half a cup of flour. And it's important, most of the time when I'm baking, I don't do a whole lot of sifting. But for this recipe, it's very important that we sift it. You could just use a little screen colander. If you have a sifter, that's fine. We're also going to sift in half a teaspoon of sugar. You don't want this too sweet. And a small pinch of salt, about 1/8 of a teaspoon. Yeah, a little whisk, make sure that's all mixed together. You don't want any lumps in this dough, which is why we're in in your dry ingredients. That's why we sifted them. Okay, so this has come to a nice rolling boil. What we want to do, get it off the heat, and immediately whisk in our flour mixture. Keep stirring this in so that everything's incorporated. Once it's formed a nice ball, we want to put it back on the heat and cook it for a minute, stirring it around. You're going to want a good wooden spoon for this. What you're basically going to do is mash it in and cook it for about 1 minute. Now you're going to notice on the bottom of your pan you have a little bit of a film in there, and that the dough has become the consistency of Play-Doh. That's when you want to get it off the heat. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we added our dough now into a mixing bowl. Going to put it on low speed and just let that dough spin for a minute or so. What it's going to do is take a little bit of the heat out of that dough. Then to that we're going to add 2 eggs. One egg, two eggs. And just let it go until they're completely incorporated. Okay. So now it's been spinning here for a couple of minutes. My dough is completely combined. Take a spatula, scrape down the sides here. Okay, what we're going to want is a large zip top bag and a good sized cup. Set the cup on the counter. Stuff your bag down in there and fold over the edges. You're going to thank me for this little tip, because if you try and do it without this, you're just going to have so much fun. Scoop your dough, or your batter, however you want to look at it, right into the bag. Make sure you get all of it. Now this dough, or recipe, is called pâte à choux. It's a French term. Don't ask me exactly what it means. But basically it's eclair dough. So now we've got that in there. Take your bag and kind of, squeeze it all down towards the corner. We're going to take a baking pan lined with aluminum foil or parchment paper if you happen to have it. Take your bag, snip off the tip of the bag. That's going to make this a piping bag. Then we're going to pipe strips, about 4 inches long, maybe about 1.5 inches, 2 inches apart. Now we're going to place these in the oven for 10 minutes at 450 degrees. Okay, so our dough's been cooking for 10 minutes at 450 degrees. Don't open the oven door during the entire time of cooking here, but we're not done yet. We're not ready to open it up yet. What we want to do is turn the oven down now to 350 degrees. And let them go for another 10 minutes. Okay, so these have been in here for 10 minutes. What you want to do is turn off the oven. Now, if you turn on your oven light and look in there, you'll see that they're kind of brown on the top, but we don't want to take them out yet. Set your timer again for another 10 minutes and let them continue to dry in there, because the center of them is still going to be a little bit moist. We'll just want to give them 10 minutes, let them dry.